How do you go about dating a girl with rich parents that give her everything she wants?
So the fact that the guy asked that question tells me on some level he doesn't think he measures up. And the reality is, all human beings, men and women both, we have two primary fears: fear that we're not enough, in other words, that we don't have what it takes, or fear that we won't be loved. And the important thing is if this girl likes you, she will help you to succeed. And if you're taking out her on a date, maybe you're going to go pick her up or whatever, the fact that you're on the way there, you got her address, you're going to go pick her up, probably meet her parents or whatever. It's You're there because you're good enough. And at the end of the day, so what? Even if it goes bad, it's like there's another bus every 15 minutes. But people will do more to avoid pain than they'll do to gain pleasure. You can always halfway on the way over to her house freak out because you're worried about how her parents are going to react to you. Or you could look at it as, hey, I'm just going to talk to him, ask him some questions, have him show me around the house or whatever, chat for a bit. The dad's always going to want to talk to you and ask you a few questions, size you up a little bit. Mom will probably say something. Mom will probably be like, oh, good job, he's so handsome, or something along those lines. But you got to do it. And if they don't like you, so what? Somebody else's parents will. You have to go through the repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill. You got to go through the evolution. Well, let me continue on.
Okay.
So the number one most important thing that women find attractive in men is confidence, and the fact that you got the balls to drive over there, pick her up, meet her parents, especially if they're very wealthy and you're kind of intimidated by it. The fact that you show up and you're willing to pick her up at her house and meet her parents, her dad is going to appreciate that because he's going to appreciate the fact that you had the balls to come over there versus some ratchet dude that's telling her to meet her out somewhere, or she's dating some dude that's a loser and doesn't even have a car, and because he's a deadbeat, and then she goes over and picks him up somewhere and he always avoids the parents. You'll be in much better graces with the family if you go over there, meet her, pick her up, because if you've been invited, then that means you're worthy. Mm-hmm. So it's just like when a woman says, hey, you want to come in after you guys are making out on her porch when you drop her off at night? Typically that means, hey, sex is on the table unless you don't talk me out of it. So if you're invited to come hang out at their house, obviously she feels you're worthy, and the fact that you got the balls to do that. And it will be helpful when her parents are like, oh, I really liked him. He was that Corey guy was a really nice guy. They appreciate that, the fact way more that you're going over here to pick their daughter up and meet them, and you got the balls to do that versus some weak weirdo that is too afraid to go over there.
Or would call her like an Uber or something.
Yeah, I'll send an Uber for you.
Yeah.
Well, the courtship definitely never ends. And if you really like that person, nothing should be stopping you whatsoever.
But some men, I think, are a little bit, I'm not going to say like ashamed.
Intimidated.
Intimidated.
For sure.
Especially by parents who have raised successful like children and have like a successful family, because they're going into a dynamic that is like an unknown for them, and that makes them very uneasy, so they really don't know what they're about to step into. And every family has their shit.
Yeah.
So
what she's trying to say is that the person, like this girl, could have like a really wealthy, rich ass family, but they could still have their own shit. You can be successful financially,
don't want to come over because they're fucking scared.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, no.
It's like no family's
like,
perfect.
I don't live up to this shit. I can't come over. Like, just I'll call you an Uber. How about you Uber to me because you can afford it?
The other thing you got to keep in mind is that most wealthy people, at least the ones I've met, typically are really nice. They're more successful, they're more calm, and they're going to make you feel more at ease, and they'll typically be more charming than, people that you might see in the trailer park when you're going to pick up a girl from there. It's a different class of people. You're dealing with some sophisticated people that are going to be kind and make you feel welcome. And like I said, it really depends on the people, but That's the thing you'll find if you're not used to hanging out with people with money is that most of them are really nice, really regular people. And if they were dressed in shirts, t-shirt, and flip-flops, like a lot of wealthy people I know, one of my guys I know he's a billionaire. They manage $1 billion plus for their family, and dude's got a scruffy t-shirt and flip-flops and
Couple
shorts,
holes in
and
it.
you would think he's just some average dude that cleans pools for a living. And he's one of the nicest, most gracious people. You see him, you see his wife, his kids. They're all very friendly. They want you to come by and hang out and catch up. They want to make you feel welcome. So they have typically richer people typically have better social skills. So whether you realize it or not, you do it a few times, you'll be like, wow, I kind of like hanging out with rich people because they're very generous. They want you to hang out. Here's a beer, here's a drink, here's a glass of wine, whatever. Come over and for a barbecue on the weekend.